I'm live. Okay. All right. Hey, everyone. I was live a little while ago with Austin. Dropped everyone off to the job site. Good morning, everybody who didn't watch the previous video. CJ Goes Live. We are in Brentwood. Leaving Castle Shannon, going through Brentwood in beautiful, sunny Pittsburgh. It's not that sunny today, actually. But now that Austin is out of the truck and all the guys are working hard this morning to complete a job that was supposed to be completed 3 months ago, gives me a little opportunity to pitch some knowledge. I think one of the biggest questions I get from students that I've had in the past, people that I mentor now, and just people in general who want to get into real estate, because I hear all the time, I want to get into real estate, I want to buy a house, I want to flip a house, I'm going to make $50,000, maybe, depends on where you are. What you have to realize is the risk has to equal the reward. So if you're in a place like California, where you're buying a house for $600,000 and you're putting $200,000 in, and your sale price is going to be $950,000, you're thinking, wow, I made $150,000 on that deal. Hi, you have a realtor. Your realtor is going to take 6 points in California, I'm sure. So the realtor and the broker take 60 out of that 150 right away. Then you're going to have just other things come up. You're just going to have permits that weren't filed properly, or repairs that you have to make to the property before it can sell because it went through the inspection, the inspector didn't like something. You're going to always have something miscellaneous. So plan for another 10 to 15% of that profit to go away. So now you're looking at maybe $85,000 on an $800,000 investment. I don't know about you, maybe you have that kind of money, but for someone like me, that is not a good deal to make $85,000 on $800,000. Now, where I am, or where I was before in Florida, where we came from, houses, you buy them for $150, you put 50 in, you maybe sell them for $375. Even if you sold for $275, by the time you pay your realtor and you pay your whatever costs, you still make 50 grand. 50 grand on $200,000 investment. That's a much bigger return in my opinion, and it's a lot safer. But before you even get to that point of making that money, because everybody's all about that money, right? Want to make that 50 grand, that 100 grand, that Fan Merrill, flip this house, flipping shows and house hunters and zombie house, all the house shows. Yeah, you know, those shows they're reality shows. They're not really reality. Okay, folks, we're back. We had like an issue there. I don't know what happened, probably going through tunnels and stuff. So I'm just gonna start from where I was before I hit the tunnel. So we were talking about how people have, especially newbies, have this dream, this grandiose dream of all this money they're gonna make with these flips. And this is true, you can make great money. But after picking your perfect house, the next step is picking your perfect contractor. Because your contractor is the one who's going to help you achieve that magical $50,000, $100,000, $1 million profit goal that you have. So how do you pick a contractor? I don't know if they caught this in the video before, but I get that question all the time because I've been doing this work for over 20 years. Contracting, not so much, only about 13 or 14 years, but being a real estate investor, over 20 years. And I can usually spot a bad contractor. On this project that I'm doing, I made a mistake. I had a little bit too much trust in somebody who was real smooth and really good liar. and just an overall bad person. But there are going to be bad people that you meet. I want to protect you from people like that, because it will happen. So, number one, how do you spot a fake contractor? Ask him for his license. In the city of Pittsburgh, anyway, you got to have a license. I think everywhere you have to have a license. You can't just go into somebody's house and start tearing it up and not be licensed or insured. Ask them for insurance. Number two, no insurance, goodbye. No license, goodbye. Ask them their home address. Take a picture of their drive. I suggest Googling them, or People Finder, or if you know some guest mom, ask a friend, and they'll have that person's contractor's information within minutes of your research. Do your due diligence, or you might end up getting $14,000 stolen from you. Even when you do your due diligence, though, it can still happen. You can still call references. References can be great. This guy's amazing. Little do you know, halfway through your job that's not even started, that this guy maybe got people to lie for him and say that they were customers or clients when they really weren't. So that's something to be aware of. If that happens to you, there's really nothing you can do to prevent that. But as far as contractors go, number three, you need to see tools on the job site. You need to see materials on the job site. A lot of these guys come with pictures on their phone. Hey, look at all these pictures. I don't know if that's pictures of your job. You could have just walked into a Tim Hortons and taken a picture of a new bathroom there. I don't know. So hard copies of the jobs, the exact locations, calling the client who got this work done by this supposed contractor. Number four, you want to make sure that this person understands terms. So it's good for you to educate even if you're a newbie, it's good for you to get a handle on what materials cost. Walk into a Home Depot, walk into a Lowe's, walk into a Busy Beaver, walk around for like 3 hours. Don't go in for 5 minutes, walk around for like 3 hours. Go look at the price of paint. Go look at the price. I can tell you, if you ask me anywhere in a Home Depot with about 90% accuracy, I can tell you down to the penny what something costs. A stick of wood, a sheet of drywall, a can of paint, depends on the brand. I can tell you exactly what it's going to take to build a 16-foot deck. I can tell you exactly what it's going to take to run flooring, how many square feet, and what the cutoff is going to be. If you ask your contractor these questions, and he says, I have to price it out and measure it out, A, he's not doing enough work to know what the prices are, or B, he doesn't know anything, and he has to maybe go ask a friend or go watch a YouTube video. The guys who tell you straight off, well, you're going to need X amount of this, X amount of that, they have the tape measure on their belt, they have the tool pouch on their side. If your contractor is walking up to you and he's wearing a pair of Jordan shorts and some Tommy Hilfiger gloves on with a $600 t-shirt and a pair of Kanye Yeezy West shoes, they're $1,000. Guess what? That guy ain't doing any work. You need to have on work boots. You need to see your contractor have on work boots. You know what? You have to let them do the talking. You have to let them tell you what they think should be done in the project. Ultimately, the decision will be yours, but it's always good to get their opinion. That way you can see their skill set. They'll tell you they'll expose themselves. Having at least one working phone number, and I always ask them, can I get one of the phone numbers to a relative or your wife or your mother or your brother or somebody who's close to them in their family, or even one of the guys on the crew. Hey, can I get Jimmy's number? Can I get Susie's number? Can I get Billy's number? Just in case there's an emergency, I can't get a hold of you or whatever. But the real reason I do that is because if someone decides to go sideways, I have a way to find them. Sometimes people will just literally disappear. Contractor will just take your money and just be gone. You can't find them. Maybe they gave you a fake name. Maybe they gave you a fake contract number. Your job as the investor who's putting out this money, and who knows where you're getting your money from, and God forbid you're getting it from somebody else and it gets stolen. If it's your own money, you can kind of swallow that pill a little easier. But when you have a hard money loan, or you have a bank loan that you're doing this job through, and there's no other way to get funding once that money is stolen or those materials are not delivered or stolen, you're kind of in a pickle. A lot of people panic, even veterans panic, but you know what? When you panic, it gets worse. It always gets worse. So remaining calm and becoming creative. This will teach, if this ever does happen, a bad situation like this, it'll teach you, or at least it should. It should be a lesson to think outside the box. And if you get beat and somebody steals from you, don't think of it as a negative. Think of it as a positive. The positive part of it is that you know better next time. You know what to look for. But it teaches you to be creative. So let's say you have a $50,000 budget. You give your contractor $25,000. Guy runs away with $25,000. That's a hell of a lot of money. But it's going to force you to figure out, A, where to come up with another $25,000, something you probably never thought of before. So you add that to your skill set. Or B, it's going to teach you that you're going to have to go out and find cheaper materials, or you're not going to be able to make the place as great as you wanted to make it. So maybe you don't sell it for, you know, $350,000. Maybe you sell it for $325,000. It all depends, I guess, on what you're looking for as far as profit goes. But if you're in a pickle and you don't have money to finish the project, then you're not going to make any profit. So you've definitely got to the deals. You know, a lot of people just go Home Depot, shop Home Depot. That's great. You can go through what's called a bid room, and I think it's $1,500 minimum. Now, back in the day, you put $1,500 in, you get free delivery, $80 value. You get like 12% off your order. These days, you get 2, 3, 4% off your order. So it's not really a big deal, but it does help. Lumber Liquidators is another great place to get cheap wood. And look for your remnant stores for carpets. Home Depot does a pretty good job with carpet install if you choose their carpet, and they will install it for free a lot of times. Same with kitchen cabinets. They'll discount 20% off in-stock kitchen cabinets, which is an awesome deal if you're doing stock cabinets. Now, if you're doing like a $500,000 house, you ain't doing no stock cabinets. You ain't doing vinyl or countertops from Home Depot. You're doing, you know, the nice stuff, granite, maybe granitecrete if you can get away with it. That's a good alternative. Yeah, if you don't have the money for granite, you can pour your own stone and epoxy and granitecrete. It looks beautiful, looks the same. Quartz is really nice but expensive. But anything other than those Home Depot billy board countertops, because those things don't last and they just look cheap. They look terrible. If you're doing a $150,000 flip, you can get away with it. I would still suggest to go with the higher end, but if you're budget conscious and you're trying to maybe put in an AC unit inside the house instead of putting granite countertops, you kind of got to balance what's more important to you and what you think. Speak with a realtor for that area and find out what people are buying in that area, and find out if I put granite, will it make a difference? If I put countertops from Home Depot, will that make a difference? If I put Traffic Master down in the kitchen as opposed to ceramic tile, would that make a difference? Hardwood as opposed to laminate clickwood, would that make a difference? All of those things. Trex deck boards. Should I put Trex or should I put regular 5 3/4 finished deck boards? Price is half to do regular treated deck boards as opposed to Trex boards. So it all comes down to, number one, preference. Number two, budget. I mean, we all want to put the nicest stuff in our properties to make them sell. We did a house a couple years ago in Monroeville. Just unbelievably beautiful house. We put, oh, it's just amazing. We put a 12-foot island in the middle of the kitchen. We had like 60 USB plugs in that house. All the most high-end lighting, and double lot, and oh, huge lot, 2-car garage. Beautiful, beautiful house. We spent 2.5 months there. It should have been 2 months. We spent like 2.5 months there, and we went all out on this house. I mean, it was decked out. It was decked out. Everything wood floors, like solid wood floors, just beautiful. Huge kitchen, 2.5 baths, huge backyard, huge side yard. You could put like a pool. You could put 2 pools. You could put trampoline. You could put, it's perfect for a family. This was one of the nicest flips I've ever done. Couldn't sell it. Couldn't sell it. In fact, the first week that it was on the market, the first day that it was on the market, it had multiple offers. Let this be a lesson, don't get greedy. I got an offer a little less than $10,000, less than I was asking, but it was cash. And it was a 3 weeks close. And you know what I said? I said, nah, let me wait. Let me wait and see what happens, because I'm pretty sure somebody else is going to come along and make an offer. Well, somebody else did come along and make an offer, and it was for less. The problem with this house, so we buy houses. Someone sitting in the Hardee's parking lot, we buy houses, I bet. The problem with this house was, even though it was just decked out to the nines, and it had like decks on the side of it, a big deck in the back, it was beautiful. The access, it was on a corner, on a blind corner, on a main road. And no matter what we did, excavator tried to tear out like 100 feet along the side of the road so you could see when you pulled out of your driveway. People go 100 miles an hour around that corner, and no matter what we did, we could not give a visual. So you could pull out to the left, you always have to pull out to the right, and that was inconvenient. Nobody could pull out to the left because they were afraid they were going to get hit by another car. 6 months. 6 months this house sat through the winter, because in the wintertime it was even worse. It was harder to get out of the driveway. Finally, Gina, GM Petro, best agent in Pittsburgh, friend of mine, very professional, knows exactly what she's talking about. She's a mad boss, for real. She's got it going on. She came in and boom, sold the house like right away. I guess it's her, but you know, we had another agent on the job before. He was a great agent. He was him and his wife, great Christian guy. Just, you know, screwed it up because I didn't take the first offer, and then I ended up putting Gina on, which you may do in the future if you're investing and you have an issue. You might switch realtors. Do I recommend it? No. It was a tough decision. It was a really tough decision, but after 6 months of sitting on a flip, you know, there's taxes, there's insurance, there's payments on that thing. So we ended up getting pretty close to what we wanted, but one of the things that I would suggest you do is don't get greedy. Man, as soon as you get greedy, it's a wrap. You are not going to succeed. You have got to learn to give and take and realize that sometimes things will not go your way. Not everything will go your way. But back to the contractor thing. A good contractor will come in and he will notice things right away before you notice them. If he starts going around and picking at stuff, oh, look at that. Look at that line is bad. All these shutoffs are bad underneath here. This water tank is bad. Oh, the roof. You know, the roof could probably take another 5 years, but I suggest that you consider, if you have in your budget, and I can do it for the right price, that you consider putting a new dimensional roof on there. It looks better. I would suggest you put better gutters and downspouts than what you have right now. And all of those things may seem, especially if you're new, you won't even know that. You won't even notice that those things need to be done. For seasoned guys like me, who do this every day, when I'm not doing hot sauce, and some days I'm doing this and hot sauce, Fire Nice products, you notice things. And, you know, we're working on an apartment right now. Yesterday, all right, we're done. We think we're done. Go around again, fine-tooth comb. Nope, that needs caulked. Nope, look at that floor. We need to put a nail in that one. What else was there? Leaky pipes in the bathroom. Didn't notice it because we didn't really do anything in the bathroom. Drywall, little holes in drywall for people, you know, putting their paintings and pictures up, and missing cove base around the bottom of the door. Door that doesn't latch properly. All of these little things that, if you leave them undone and you go put your house up for sale and you have people walking through your house, because the first week or two that you have your house up, that's when you get your most views. So if you try and be a cheapskate, or your contractor doesn't know what he's doing, you're going to fail your inspection when somebody comes to buy the house. Or you won't even get to that point because someone's going to come look at the house and say, I see things wrong with it. These people didn't take their time with it. If there's this wrong here, what's wrong over there? What's wrong over there? What's wrong with that? You know what? I have too much doubt now. I really did like the house, but now I have some serious doubts as to whether this house is going to be for me or not, because I'm seeing kind of a bunch of things that I don't like, and that's attributed to the contractor. So I suggest, when you're dealing with the contractor, you definitely do things in phases. You never do, you know, a big check and wait for your money or wait for your project to get done. You always do it in phases. So phase one, say the budget's $10,000 to do a small job. You give the contractor a quarter, $2,500. Now he comes back with materials. He's doing the work, him and his crew. And once you see the work is being done, you see some materials on the job, you know that he's got to get the rest of the materials. So you give him the other $2,500. You sign for it. Date it, sign it, take a picture with your cell phone, put it in your Excel, keep your records. Once he's finished with the first half, so let's say it's a 30-day deadline. Once he's 15 days through, you're going to give him another quarter, another $2,500. And that $2,500 is to pay himself, his gas, and his crew. When you're finished with that 25%, the job has to be done. And once it's at 100%, you give him the other 25%. That's how I work. But I need to see things in phases, and I need to see receipts, verifiable receipts. And you can't always trust their receipts either. So what I suggest is you look at the phone number where the materials are coming from, you call them. Hey, did Billy pay for these materials? He has a receipt here, it's an invoice. Yeah, Billy paid for them. Billy's going to pick them up next week. What day? Tuesday. What time? He said like around 10 o'clock. All right. Listen, here's my number. My name is CJ. Billy's working for me. Would you do me a huge, huge favor? I'll make something happen for you, okay? I'll get you like, I don't know, like a 6-pack of Slim Jims, or like a parfait from McDonald's on a Big Mac, something. Give him something, or $20. What you want to do is say to him, hey, please take my phone number down, and when Billy comes in, can you call me and let me know Billy came in? And if Billy didn't come in, can you please call me and let me know Billy didn't come in to pick up the materials? That way, when you talk to Billy, Billy doesn't say, oh yeah, I got the materials. They're all in my truck. You know he's lying. The first sign that you catch contractor lying, you have to call them out on it. Anybody in life, me, got to call them out on it. I would strongly suggest that you don't have fear in doing that. Fear in them walking off the job, fear in them, not coming back or taking the materials back. You are protected, You can go to the magistrate and you can file against them. So it's not like they take your money and they get to walk away scot-free. I know some of these idiots. What's up, Tony? Some of these idiots think that that's what they can do. They literally think they can just rip people off and they're going to get away with it. I don't know how they sleep at night, but I don't want that to be you. So I hope some of these tips help you to realize that you are in control of the situation, and picking the right contractor is how you're going to make your 50 or your 20 or your $100,000 in your flip. Ultimately, though, you are responsible. Remember that. Everything falls on you. So choose wisely, and you can like, subscribe, you can put some comments in there. I get comments all the time on the Facebook, or people just call me on my phone, My phone number is easy, 412-330-7541. It's been the same since the first day I moved to Pittsburgh 12 years ago. Hasn't changed. My phone number in Florida was the same for 10, 11, 12 years, same thing. So I'm reliable. I'm here. I don't typically do contract work for other people anymore. It's pretty much just for myself and run my own crews. But, we have professional guys that do amazing work, and we're fast. That's the most important thing. Fast. Time is not money, but it's not an equivalent, but they're both equally important. The longer you take to finish your project, the more money you are going to be spending on your taxes, your insurance, whatever else. So pick somebody that you have total confidence in, and I guarantee you, if you think positive and you stay on top of it, you make phone calls. If your guy's not texting you back, if your guy doesn't text you back for 48 hours, you're in trouble. You have a problem. You have a serious problem. I promise you. It is not a minor thing. When I text my guys who work for me, they text me immediately, or they call me right away. There's no 45 minutes. Sorry, boss, we were at Caliente's for lunch. Nonsense, lying nonsense like that. You don't want somebody who, the first sign of a lie, you better straighten that out, and you better get to the magistrate after a week if you see that the work is not being done. And don't let contractors threaten you. Don't let contractors be, they are smarter than you, most of us anyway, investors. Don't let them tell you this is how it has to be. Have a dialogue and always have discussion with people. Don't get taken advantage of, and don't be a pushover, because some of these thieves, some of these vultures, these bloodsuckers, that's what they look for. They look for someone who's new, and they think this guy's an idiot or this girl's an idiot. I can definitely get over on her. So I don't want to see that happen to any of you. I've given you my phone number. Folks, you can call me anytime, leave comments, questions. My Facebook page, CJ Vance Lightman, pretty easy to find. Google me, CJ Vance Lightman, like the first 3 pages of Google is me. And I don't have any better bureau complaints, and 21 years doing this. I don't have any angry tenants who write things about me or bad things about me on the internet. So I'm content, I'm happy. All you have in this business is your name. So in life, really. So if you want to preserve your name, do the right thing. That's what I do. I live my life by God every day, and I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I'm sure some of you make mistakes too, and I've made some big mistakes and stupid mistakes in my life, and the best part is I've learned from them. And guess what? I don't make those mistakes anymore. So in conclusion, like and subscribe. It was fun doing a second video today. I've never done that actually. And God bless you. Have an amazing day. Happy flipping. Be safe. Have fun. Find an awesome house. Make a bunch of money. And then pay it forward. Hire some people. Get some people under your payroll and be a job creator, Barack Obama. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Love you. God bless you. Take care.